Assalamu alaikum. My brothers and sisters, let me start by saying that the horrific terrorist attacks that took place in England, in Manchester and in London, they demonstrate how Islamic terrorism, Islamic fundamentalist terrorism, can strike in the West just as easily as it can strike in the Middle East. But let's roll back the clock and look at the genesis of Islamic fundamentalism, because until the arrival of the 1979 revolution in Iran and the creation of the first contemporary Islamic republic, we did not really recognize this type of terrorism in the world. But the arrival of Khomeini and his brand of Islamic fundamentalism laid the groundwork for what we have now come to recognize, and one of our speakers, one of our eminent speakers this morning, recognized as the cancer which is eating throughout the Middle East today. I know from my 5 years in the position as President of the European Parliament's delegation for relations with Iraq, I had to go many times to Iraq to look at the unfolding situation there. We see the Iranian regime saying to the West, "We will help you, we will become your allies in driving Daesh out of Iraq." We're helping them with air cover, with ground support, to annihilate the Sunni population of some of the ancient cities of Iraq, leaving cities like Fallujah, Ramadi, and now Mosul reduced to smoking ruins. Thousands, tens of thousands of Sunni men, women, and children murdered in an act of genocide. We have seen the spread of terror by the Iranian regime into Syria, which has kept that civil war going now for almost 7 years, with hundreds of thousands of innocent deaths. We have seen the Iranian regime backing the Houthi rebels in Yemen, backing Hezbollah in Lebanon, as we've heard in repeated speeches today. This is the cancer spreading throughout the Middle East. But I see a change. I see a big change coming with the arrival of President Trump. His first foreign policy meeting in Riyadh with King Salman, with 55 leaders of Muslim nations from Egypt, from the Middle East, from the Gulf states. This was an incredible breakthrough, where he identified Iran as the global sponsor of terror. But what a great initiative by the Arab states that they held this conference entitled "Together We Will Prevail." Because surely that is the message. You know, the nuclear deal which was signed by the previous Obama administration, following 8 years of appeasement policy towards the Iranian regime, the nuclear deal released $150 billion in frozen assets. The beleaguered 80 million Iranian citizens thought that this would provide them with some new support. But that money was simply used to give more funding to the Shia militias, more funding to the 70,000 Afghan proxies fighting in Syria to prop up Bashar al-Assad's bloody regime, more funding to Hezbollah, more spread of terror throughout the Middle East. That's how bad that nuclear deal has been. It has been catastrophic for all of us. Do you know, during the Second World War, the famous American general George S. Patton He once said, "We have to face up to the challenges so that we can enjoy the exhilaration of victory." Well, I want to leave you today, ladies and gentlemen, with the message that if we face up to the challenges posed by this evil regime in Tehran, we will enjoy the exhilaration of victory. Together we will prevail. Thank you.